Hi book friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen and this is my February TBR. This is the second month using my Dragon Horde board, and I have a little addition from last month. This is my little dragon who is yet nameless, sitting on top of a special edition book. And this is the board that we use to curate my TBR every month. Since this is February, I am hoping to try to get a lot of romance on my TBR. And I also have some other books that will be read whether or not they make it onto the TBR via the game or if I just add them on later. Along with February being Valentine's Day, it is also Black History Month, so I am hoping to be able to put some books from BIPOC authors on my list. And if the roles and the prompts do not allow for me to read any books by BIPOC authors in February, I will just add them on myself at the end. All right, I have the board all set up and I have my little addition at the top. I have my little dragon sitting on top of a special edition book. Can't forget to say hello to Rhapsody, our bard. Let's roll the D20, see how many rolls I'm going to have to make for February's TBR. Oh, big numbers. I rolled a 3. I don't have high hopes that this will get me to the top, but there are lots of portals and other options. So let's go ahead and see what we can make. First roll is a 20. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And the 20 is I landed on the wheel. When I land on the wheel, I will have to use a random number generator. And then I will use the graphic that I made in Canva to count the number that I land on, and that will determine the book that I read. So the first roll was the wheel. This is me using the random number generator. I landed on number 46. So then I went to my graphic that I made in Canva and I counted over 46 books. And I landed on a classic by an African-American woman, and this one has been on my shelf for a while wanting to read. I landed on Paradise by Toni Morrison. So let me just read you a little tiny synopsis from the inside cover. As the book begins deep in Oklahoma early one morning in 1976, 9 men from Ruby, population 360, in defense of the all-black town worth the pain, assault near the nearby convent and the women in it. From the town's ancestral origins in 1890 to the fateful day of the assault, Paradise tells the story of a people ever mindful of the relationship between their spectacular history and a void out there where random and organized evil erupted when and where it chose. Richly imagined and elegantly composed, Paradise weaves a powerful mystery. So roll number 1, prompt number 1, worked out well for me. Let's move on to prompt number 2. Roll 2. Wow, this would be the best game of D&D of my life. I rolled another 20. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is I landed on a rest. Roll number 2 landed me on a long rest, so I will just reshuffle all of the prompts that I pulled back into the pile for March TBR. Last roll. 12. 12, I landed on a magical item. I'm actually surprised that I got this far up the board with only 3 rolls. So I'm going to pull the very top magical item card. These were just reshuffled at the beginning of the game. I believe I had this one last month too, a 1-word title. The prompt 1-word title kind of threw me for a loop. I had that one in January also, and I put Quicksilver on it. I could not think off the top of my head what book I had left that was just one word. And then I found this beauty, Imago by Octavia E. Butler. This will be the third book that I have read by Octavia E. Butler, and the first two were absolute gold. And bonus, this will be another BIPOC author. After a deadly nuclear war, a handful of humans were rescued by the Oankali, an alien race who intervened for a purpose of their own, to interbreed with humans. Raising children they hope will be freed of their parents' flaws. Jodas is one such child, born of a human mother and Oankali parents. But in a first for the hybrid species, Jodas is neither male nor female. Instead, it becomes clear that Jodas is a member of the Oankali's third sex, an Uloi, who can mutate DNA, cause and cure disease, and forge enduring social bonds. The Oankali have never allowed an Uloi to be born of a human for the fear of the devastation an adolescent could cause with its potent abilities if it loses control. Nevertheless, Jodas, risking exile and madness, while struggling to come to terms with its unexpected new identity, must now master its powers to unite its community before it is destroyed from within. In light of everything that's happening politically right now, I think this is going to be such an interesting read. This was originally published in 1989. So I'm really interested in reading about the parallels between this piece of science fiction that was written in 1989 and things that we may be going through as a society now in 2025. No romance yet, but two very strong books by BIPOC authors. Just because I love rolling so much, and I feel like 3 was such a low number, and I feel like there's a lot of books that I have in my mental TBR for February, I'm going to just do a bonus roll because it's my game, my rule. So one more roll just for the heck of it. I rolled a 1. 1. 1. That is a cover prompt. Stars or sky on the cover. And I am really trying to make it a point to read at least one, if not more, books in to continue series every single month. So for February and for this prompt, I chose the second book by Rebecca Thorne, A Pirate's Life for Tea. The first book was Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and I absolutely loved it. If you love cozy fantasy, but the stakes are just a little bit higher, and there's lesbians, and there's griffins, and there's all kinds of amazing, endearing creatures, you will love this series. All of the books have a different sprayed edge color, so they look really, really good on the shelf. I think there's going to be 4 books in this series. A cozy fantasy where love sets sail. It seems like this book is going to pick up right where the last book left off. I did not reach the dragon. I did not reach the special edition, but I have 4 prompts, and I think that's a really good start for February's TBR. Those are all the books that made it onto my TBR via the game. So now let me just show you some other ones, some other required reads, and just some other ones that I want to read for February. The first one I've already taken the dust jacket off of, but it is the second book in the Stormlight Archives, and it's Words of Radiance. It took me 2 months, November and December, to read The Way of Kings. I went through it, took my time, did a lot of highlighting, and then I took a month off. I didn't read anything Brandon Sanderson in January. So February, March is going to be my read of Book 2 in the Stormlight Archives. And I'm super impressed by this artwork on the inside. I love it. This is Shalon. She's one of my favorite characters. I do plan on reading Heartstopper 3. Because it's a romance and because I want to continue the series, it only takes me about 30 minutes to read each Heartstopper book. So definitely we'll be able to get to that. I did find out they're no longer on KU, but it's okay. My daughter has a copy. And then the last book that I'm putting on February's TBR is also on Kindle Unlimited. And it is because of a book club I am running over on the Facebook group Bookmark Baddies. I will be running the romance book club for February, and we voted and chose Binding 13 is our read for February. I did not get a lot of the romance books that I had in mind on this list. Okay, there's still 10 months left in the year. As always, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscribes. Say hi in the comments below, even if you just leave me a silly emoji. And until next time, happy reading.